traveling recently in Austin, Texas, and in Florida, and in Nashville. And my buddy Charles over here was on every single one of those trips. So we're kind of like travel buddies. Okay, so I met him in Austin at this Market Masters, big Amazon event. People doing like 100 million in sales on Amazon at this event. It's wild. And he's really established on Amazon. And then I go to this event in Nashville, and Charles is there again, and we go for dinner, we got to hang out. And then when I was at Seller Summit, he's like talking about, he was being critical about something in the e-commerce space. And I was like, whoa, I like this, I like this. And he's kind of like the no BS guy. And he's got his own newsletter called Just a Seller. So it's all from the perspective of a seller, not some guru who's trying to like pretend everything's all great. Okay? And then I got to know a little bit about his background. And it turns out, this guy got started as a merchant when he was in elementary school. Okay? He would find discounted Coca-Cola bottles and resell them to other kids at a higher markup. Okay? And so his whole e-commerce journey, I'm sure he's going to talk a little bit about it, but he first wanted to like market out other people's products reselling. Fast forward to today, this guy's doing like 8 figures across Amazon, Walmart, Shopify. Okay? And he's in the trenches every day. He's an operator. He's an operator. That's the thing that is his superpower, is how to run a tight ship. And he just said to me earlier today, he's like, I've been talking to a lot of people at this event, and I can't believe what a lot of people are not utilizing marketplaces. Okay? And I really do think that as you grow on Shopify, it's a good idea to take an omni-channel approach. So there's no better guy to come up here and talk about marketplaces than the guy who does this stuff. He's in New York, so we got a big Brooklyn, New York welcome for Charles.
Thank you, Scott. All right, yeah, I'm going to need that. Thank you, everybody. Pleasure to be here. Thank you for allowing me to intrude on your time, right? It's the one thing we all can get back in life. I'm learning that. A little bit about me. Am I going back?
Are we missing? Yeah, that's not your slides. Oh, yeah, just give me 1 sec.
Yeah, all right. Anyways, I'll fill in some time with myself. I'll probably get into it on the slides, forgive me if I'm repetitive. I did start selling when I was in elementary school. I've been on Amazon since 2010. I turned 30 a month ago. Half my life I've been on Amazon. And I've seen an evolution throughout the years where it just became throw anything up there, whether it's your brand or not, to now you have to start your own brand. Now, the reselling operation is something I still engage in, and plenty. But I realized about COVID years that becoming your own brand was really the way of the future. By the way of the future, I mean, Amazon is shutting down resellers left and right. But there are some savvy resellers, one of which is standing in front of you, that have authentic invoices for authentic goods. That Amazon and Walmart are shutting them down slowly, but if I have an authentic invoice for a product, wherever I may find you, I can find you on a Shopify, I could find you on a Best Buy, I could find you on a Target, I could find you on a intro offer to opt into your mailing list, all of which are authentic product. The long and short of my presentation is simply, if you're not claiming your shelf space on marketplaces, someone else is doing it for you. Because your product is for sale, you might know where it's for sale, but others will have access to that product, and it's up to you guys as the brand owners to make sure that real estate is claimed on as many marketplaces as possible, but don't bite off more than you can chew. I plan on going into that a little more. Another thing I planned on going into, if it interested you guys, so I put it in like towards the really end. How many of you guys use credit cards to pay for your ads? Raise your hand. Keep your hand up if you did not get a notice that you'll be transitioned off credit cards.
Get a notice that what?
If you got, let me try it in a more clear way. If you got a notice that you will no longer be able to charge your ads to credit cards, raise your hand. Oh, you're gonna like this now. Okay, yeah, I mean, I was brought.
Amazon specific or?
Anything, cross-platform, because I mean, Google, Meta, and Amazon all did it. Okay, cool. What if I told you I could get you 4.4% cash back on your ad spend? Okay, we'll do that. All right, we'll do that. We'll go into it. It's a great hack that I learned earlier last year. Yeah, it was it was great. I had to pay. So I'm a member of MDS, $1 Million Sellers Group. It's Amazon first sellers group, but I mean it's more than just Amazon. And it costs somewhere in the realm of like $7,000 a year to be a part of. I learned this trick, and my ROI just went up by sharing this trick. Yeah. So I could do that. How would
Do you remember the email that you sent it? I remember I saw them come in, so I have.
my from email?
You had sent it, right?
Yeah, I did.
What was the subject line? Is it one of these?
It was that one, the last one. Yeah.
This one?
That one, yeah.
And then I'm in there.
Scroll all the way down. Second to last message. There you go.
Right here?
Yep. There you go.
We can just do this.
Yeah. And then you could just head into present mode on top.
Okay. With that? Or
1 second. X out of that. Try share.
do we just go over here?
Yeah, try that. Bottom right, try full screen.
Where's that? Right here?
Yeah.
We're in business.
Awesome.
Okay,
All right.
then I will.
Plug them in and let's see if we do this. I felt like I was a stand-up comedian, just like milking time. Show of hands, who's on Amazon or Walmart? Okay. Cool, yeah, that's my presentation. All right, nice.
And then we go. Yeah. There we go. Just want to do a test.
Yeah. Okay, perfect, cool. So, you can't beat them, join them. If you think you can beat these three companies behind me, we are in the wrong room. You belong in Silicon Valley trying to take them down. But that's not why we're here. We're here to be friends with everybody here. Like I said, Charles Chakkalo and seller, wow, when I say it for 16 years, it's a little weirder. But these two are where I primarily live, and this is my side gig. For you guys, you primarily live here and maybe think of these. Or at least that's how I crafted it. I go to seller conferences a ton. I'm partners with my two brothers. They're at work doing real things while I'm here doing this. So that allows me to be in a lot of places a lot of the time. There's a bunch of places I've been to, presented, and it's only a partial list. I'm not a shy guy. I like to present, I like to talk, I like to collaborate. The more ideas that I'm around, the happier I get. Most importantly, you'll realize these bottom two photos are at Seller Summit, something everybody here should be going to. And you meet great people like Steve and Tony. And I was fortunate enough to be on Steve's podcast there. And this is me. This is me how we started off. You can see these pizza bagels and that coffee creamer was for my consumption, not for sale. And we just bought anything we could get our hands on and make a profit on. We started out in a room in a basement. Right now, we operate 2 warehouses, fill up multiple trucks once every 10 days maximum for pick, pack, prep, some of which is my own brand, some of which is resale. As an operator, I partook in a debate with Prosper, which is I guess, the biggest non-Amazon show out there, as to whether it's worth taking all your logistics in-house or outsourcing everything to a 3PL. I'm going to throw Steve under the bus maybe a little bit over here and shine a spotlight and say he's never heard a positive story about a 3PL, only fright stories. People getting U-Hauls and taking their merchandise out to just handle on their own. Imagine if a 3PL just goes bust on you on December 19th, right? So this is me, a little bit about me. That's who I run. I'm a paralegal by training, so there's always that administrative bug to me. And all of which that you're looking at right now contributes to me as an operator. There's so much more than just operating your business that I think you should be in tune to, whether it's the news or not. So let's get into it. E-commerce, right? Grun's multi-billion-dollar exit, Anchor, the poster child of Amazon, and Mary Ruth's, another actually MDS member, so he's a cool guy. We're understandably at a crossroads here on how these brands came to be and what kind of roadmap exists for an eventual sale or exit if that's what you're aiming for. Like I said, you don't choose if Amazon exists. You control if you dictate what that shelf space looks like. That means your listings, that means who's selling. Lego is notorious for this. For example, Marco's Emporium. Last I checked in the English language, Emporium insinuates that he's a gas station. But he has 3669 seller feedbacks coming in at 85%. Nobody can really tell me how he's selling this Lego set for $199 if everyone else is placed $250 and above. That's not to say there's something wrong with Marco's Emporium. Marco could just simply be sourcing it better than everybody else. Maybe his local Lego store had a going out of business sale, and nobody else had access to those margins. But Lego is not responsible or is not dictating the terms of their brand presence on Amazon. And that might be a good decision, but that's something each and every one of you have to make up. Resellers, we get killed all the time as roaches, but long story short, Lego is selling more product and they don't have to do anything for that. Someone else is doing all the hard work for them. Someone else is dealing with Amazon, which is not an easy thing. I'll get to that a little later. And then look at the other people contending for the Lego keyword. This guy, Platports, I just typed in Lego, the word Lego. He's doing upwards of $21,000 a month, selling over 120 units, and he's not even having Amazon fulfill his offer. He's doing that himself. The reason why I'm focusing on Amazon is you should go for the biggest first. This is Statistia of last year, ending in 2025. The number is obviously different now, given that we're a full quarter later, but start with Amazon first. If you want a multi-channel approach, Amazon is your go-to, and this is the biggest fish right now. Another reason to stay into this is because you see that with over 40% of e-commerce being Amazon's slice of the pie, it's a numbers game. The more people you have exposed to your brand, the more chances you have to have that customer go through a positive experience. There's no better advertisement than a happy customer. And once that customer is satisfied, perhaps they looked at that product insert that you put, hey, join our mailing list, you like your product, we'll remind you to replenish in, 3 months or whatever it is. Somebody sold the martini thing. There you go. We'll give you a free martini for your birthday. Make sure you register your product here. You have to be pretty careful with how you word it. You can't have any terminology in exchange for reviews, but there's nothing in there saying you can't send them a thank you note. There's nothing in there saying you can't send them a birthday gift card or a birthday coupon to reroute them to Amazon, and there are profitable ways to do that. But Charles, there's no way to brand on Amazon. Everything is just a simple cut and paste. Every product detail page looks exactly the same. There are more and more opportunities to brand on your own. You take Little Text, for example, or any brand really. You have that link to your store. As long as you are a brand registered brand, which all it takes is a trademark, not even an approved trademark, a pending trademark is enough. You have access to set up your own store. Your own store, which is basically your own landing page. But let's stay on the product detail page for a second. This is Waterdrop. They're a water filtration company. They have something called a brand story, something that everybody else also has access to on their product detail pages. This is a scrolling carousel. You're also able to put in a video that auto plays, and you can also call action to things below that. These are product videos you can upload. Amazon will actually put these throughout the ecosystem, throughout the apps, throughout something called DSP ads that populate throughout Amazon's ad network on the internet. And they test these all the time. Creator reviews, Amazon associates, all link back to your product listing. And like I said, Amazon is dynamic. They'll test your products, and you can even upload your own videos. This is my storefront. You can see, besides for the Amazon banner on top, it's a real landing page. With my products, sub-menus, I have my navigation bar frozen on top. The best sellers tab, that's a dynamic tab that just simply goes by best sellers. And I even modified the header to have a call to action to follow us on Amazon. Built in, you also have something that's called creator connections. What if I told you guys can source creators through the biggest ad network on the internet and have a guaranteed return on ad spend? That's what this is. I made 3 different campaigns. This is going back to last week. I made 3 different campaigns. This many creators accepted it within a week. And I took this snapshot yesterday. I already saw $2,600-$700 of sales with guaranteed margins. Amazon takes care of the payment. I didn't send them any samples. All I have to do is click in on all of those campaigns. I get to see the creatives. I get to see where they posted it. I get to see who posted it. All of which took nothing of a setup. Built in are abandoned cart flows. People who showed interest in your product but left. People who didn't buy in over a year. There are cross-sells where you can cross-sell certain ASINs, which is a SKU in Amazon terminology, to other SKUs that are probably related to your product. Yeah, sure, Amazon's gonna do it themselves, but for a 10% minimum discount, you may be able to accelerate those on your own. You don't get a lot of visibility into that, but hey, if I have a chance to send 480,000 recipients a complimentary product using Amazon's domain, I'll do it. And Charles, why'd you put this girl in here? Well, she's lonely. You know who else is lonely? Walmart. And they're trying to make their headways into the e-commerce space, and I think it's working. And I don't say that without data to back me up. I'm a data-centric guy here. Let me just show you a little bit of what's going on. So this is my product. Also, you can see product detail page is fairly static. There's not a lot going on here, not a lot of room for my own customization, but they do have access to my storefront. You guys saw how robust Amazon storefront was, right? Wait till you see what Walmart's can do. That. No animations, barely more than 4 tiles, nada. But they're trying. How do I know they're trying? Ladies and gentlemen, these are my sales for the past, I guess, 16 months. Yes, I cut off the y-axis for some compliance reasons. But look at that. October of last year. Anybody know what happened in October of last year? Say it again. Walmart.
Walmart did, Amazon did Prime Day and also Walmart did at the same time. No?
October 14th of last year, Walmart signed an agreement with OpenAI to funnel traffic to Walmart. I like to think of myself as a pretty good operator. I thought that I was crushing it this year on Walmart because I'm so good. That could definitely be the case. I've been selling on Walmart since 2017. Not a lot of people can say that. But I don't know what accounts for that spike. That's year on year. Light blue is the year prior, 2024. And you can see how it continues to this year. I like to think the bottom is really me, but that spike is OpenAI. You can also go into their annual report. Their fiscal year just ended. At the end of April, a bunch of analyses were done. The one biggest threat I think Amazon has to it is Walmart. And not because they're Walmart, because of their locations. How many Americans are located within a close proximity to a Walmart? And how many are located within a close proximity to an Amazon fulfillment center? Already, about 3 or so weeks ago, Walmart announced that they will have in-store pickup at all of their locations. What if I told you you could just be at the next Walmart without even trying to pitch anybody in Bentonville? I might have convinced you that you should be claiming your brand space on marketplaces. please don't fall for one dashboard to rule them all. There will be plenty of agencies that say, hey, we could be your one source of truth. Shopify, Walmart, Amazon. We'll make sure that all the platforms are speaking to each other. You only have to update one inventory, one pricing dashboard, and that is it. Guys, I've been through too many shows at this rodeo. It doesn't work. If you go for a particular marketplace, it is a specialty operation that needs dedicated time and expertise. Don't ask me to do it for you because I don't run an agency, I run a company. I'm more than happy to share what I learn. I have plenty of people I can refer you to, but everything needs its own expertise and specialty. Take this for example. This is one of my products that is within the Amazon ecosystem. Oh wow, I guess that got cut off on the reserved here. But anyway, available inventory $695, inbound $52, reserved $123. Now of the reserved, 9 are on customer order, 98 are being fulfillment center transferred, and 16 are being processed by a fulfillment center. Are you telling me that one source of truth can take all of this data, this is one SKU, and tell you how many units you have by Amazon, and how many units you have on customer order, and how many units you have dispersed at which fulfillment center throughout the country to make sure that the person who wants to find you in California can find you as easily as they can find you in Ohio? Because I'll tell you what, when you're in marketplaces, everything is dynamic. And if somebody types in, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna keep on saying martinis. If somebody types in martini kit for birthday, geography and product placement of that inventory plays into the discovery of that product. Remember when I said you're not gonna beat them, join them? This happened yesterday. Amazon announced 30-minute drop-offs. If you could be by your customer in 30 minutes, why wouldn't you be a part of it? You may tell me, well, it's not all roses, Charles. It's not dandelions and roses, as my wife likes to say. There's a water filter pitcher for $49.99. And what does Amazon decide to do? Knock them off for half the price. They're gonna say, well, they're gonna come after me next. Well, that's when I tell you, you do have a voice. Amazon's actively being sued for this. Their trial starts soon. But Amazon may be struggling to attract new brands, buyers, and sellers. Let me take you back to April 1st. April 1st, Amazon sellers woke up to 3 announcements. Number 1, we are raising all FBA costs, which means their fulfillment network. If you're sending in your product to Amazon, that's called fulfillment by Amazon. So they're raising those fees by 3.5%. Number 1, understandable, fuel prices, the war in Iran, all that, okay, I got you. Number 2, we are not going to release your funds that you made of a sale. For example, somebody buys this remote. Usually, as soon as I ship the item, the funds come to me. We're not releasing these funds until 7 days after the item is delivered to the customer. On average, that's an extra 14 days. They're holding on to your money interest-free. Number 3, we are no longer accepting credit card payments for advertising, and that hurts you as far as cash flow, and that hurts you as far as credit card points and how that can be reinvested into your business. Like I said, I'm part of this group of Amazon sellers, and the group came up with an initiative saying, well, we're responsible for $15 billion in gross sales on Amazon. We're gonna shut off ads on April 15th when they announce these changes will take effect. On April 14th, they capitulated. On April 14th, they said, we're pushing this back out to August. We wanna show that we listen out to sellers. And for every month, from August to December of this year, we're giving sellers $2,500 a month. Maybe that's a small victory, but it shows that they blinked. So what I'm trying to tell you is make yourself relevant. And I'm not here to tell you that Amazon's a great place. I'll get to that in one more slide. I went into what it takes to be on different marketplaces digitally. You have to think of what it's going to do to yourself physically. How will you be on multiple marketplaces? Will you be fulfilling all the orders yourself? Like I told you, If you want to take on another platform or another marketplace, you have to make sure that you have the expertise and capability to do it. If you guys say, well, listen, I just want to own the customer A to Z, yeah, I'll make some listings on Amazon, I'll make sure that I'm the lowest price, because frankly, nobody could get genuine product cheaper than me, and that should be the case for all of you. At least so then just make a fulfilled by merchant listing. If you have any extra orders, great. But you should just be there. But if you say, hey Charles, I want to make sure that I'm playing an economy of scale here. I want to touch as many customers as I can. Even if I might break even on those sales, but my scale will go up. The amount of people I touch will go up. The amount of exposure I will get will go up, because Amazon has access to a lot more customers than I do. Those are two calculations you have to make for yourself, and you can read above how it makes sense, whether to take your own logistics in-house or to outsource it. I take it in-house, but some of you guys may know Andrew Udarian. He's actually run a few events here. He runs a group called Ecom Fuel, and ran a study of his own customers. You can read that tweet for yourself. Bill D'Alessandro is also a legend in the space, and he's more than convinced that if you run your own operation, you're actually stunting your growth, if not losing a little bit. My take is maybe you should lean a little more towards 3PL than taking stuff in-house, but let me put you in a situation where you get a bunch of product from China, and everything has a typo on the UPC code, and you have to relabel the UPC code, and it's November 15. What are you going to do? Are you going to trust that 3PL to relabel all of your stuff accurately and on time? You should have some processing capacity, not all. My 2 cents as an operator. Amazon themselves is going into the warehousing and logistics business. They ended FBA prep in the summer of last year. They ended commingling. For those of you who don't know what that is if everybody sold this Logitech remote and all sent it to Amazon, they now require every seller to individualize the sticker they put on there so they can attribute it directly to the seller. It used to be, hey, I'm sending in 10 Logitech remotes. 10 Logitech remotes belong to Charles. But it is no longer like that. Now, 10 Logitech remotes have to be labeled from Charles so that they can isolate the inventory a little better. But they opened up their logistics network to everybody. Containers being shipped internationally. Warehousing and distribution being located throughout the country, separate from their fulfillment by Amazon warehouses, all of which are now open to non-Amazon customers. All of this comes from the mind of an operator. There was a shipment when I was growing this company. We didn't have a facility that can ship pallets. We didn't have a door that was wide enough to fit a pallet. So the way we did it was we took 26 pallets, because that's what a full truck is, and we put it on the sidewalk, and we built it. Outside, we built 26 pallets in a day and waited for Amazon to send their trailer to come pick it up. They told us it was coming Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Tuesday at 2 o'clock, all of the 26 pallets were built and ready. We built it. We had our employees helping us, and the truck never showed up. I'm not destroying those pallets, putting everything back inside piece by piece. So it started raining. My brother and I took a chair each, and we sat on the sidewalk and waited. 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, a truck showed up. My brother and I loaded the trailer. We went back home, and we never had to sleep like that ever again in our lives. But it comes from a place of grit. So whatever I'm telling you is coming from my experience. It's not coming from a place to try to sell you or anything else. I don't know if it's a sign that I did something wrong. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. Just went to sleep. Okay. That's just one small anecdote as to why, or how quickly, or how little Amazon can care about its sellers. But in the end of the day, we're utilizing their platform and they're utilizing our grit. 3 weeks after my brother got married, we got suspended for variation misuse. Somebody, I guess, was a little too trigger happy because we got a large variation of a sock, and we added a variation large instead of medium. Somebody called that variation misuse, and it costed us about a month and a half of being down, and we said to ourselves, there is no way we cannot diversify after a month and a half of lost revenue. In comes Walmart. It means something that I reached 75% of 2025's GMV and it's May 13. It means something that they have the single biggest lever, in my opinion, to overtake Amazon, if they're to overtake Amazon. If I had to summarize my entire presentation to you of me yapping, it's this. Claim your brand territory, because if you don't, someone else will. Control it. Enroll in things like brand registry on Walmart and Amazon so that you can enforce your intellectual property. After all, we're all building something that's your own brand, right? And then compound it. Ideally, you guys will master each marketplace to have your product in as many hands as possible to deliver that satisfactory customer experience that keeps the customer wanting to search you further than that marketplace. Yes, everyone has their credit card number already done in Amazon, maybe Walmart. We all know that feeling of being in bed, getting hooked on an ad, and not wanting to get up to get your credit card from your pants. So, or at least for men, it's the pants, right? This is your formula. Shopify is where you own the customer, Amazon is where the demand is, and then Walmart is your insurance policy. Because who knows where it's going to be in the next 10 years, right? I told you that Amazon was listening out to sellers, and here's another example. They host something in their New York City offices and Seattle called Voice of the Seller. And they've hosted me for a couple of sessions, to which one of them was about Amazon Accelerate, which is their annual conference. And I'll get back to that. I'm not a compliant seller either. If I think something, I'll say something with very little shame. And I was quoted in the CNBC article just under a month ago. Here, you could probably read it better on this slide. And I didn't mince words. I'll give you a minute to read it. The best is the last paragraph, and then I'll continue. This was my reaction to the April 1st announcements, the 1, 2, 3 strikes. I woke up on a Tuesday morning, and all of my inventory was quarantined, and my sales were effectively zero for 3 days until the problem was rectified. But I told them at the Voice of the Seller, we shouldn't wait all year for you guys to be able to meet me face to face. We should have more frequent gatherings where I can speak to the Amazonians making these decisions to quarantine my inventory and see what the hell happened. Was anything retributive done to me? Was it not? And they announced this last week, where they're coming to this city, July 16, with everyone they bring to Washington to make sure that sellers' concerns are being addressed internally in Amazon. So they even reached out to me to go on their DC summit next week. They're taking just around 20 sellers to Washington, DC to present to senators, legislators, that Amazon is very pro-small business. I told them, I'm not going to say whatever I want you to say. I'm going to say whatever I want to say. And they didn't care. They wanted to take me anyway. I'm not going to say some Amazonians didn't hesitate, but they're listening. Why they're listening is an entirely different presentation, but make yourselves relevant. It becomes a lot harder for them to unilaterally quarantine your inventory without an explanation when you can make noise within. Amazon also announced that they're going to be charging third parties per API pull last year. So that means softwares like Google Ads, Meta Ads, Jungle Scout, Helium 10 would all be increasing in price because of their API pulls. That was announced will not go into effect earlier this week. I frequently put things out as an operator. This is where I just put my no nonsense, just a seller.news. I don't have an agency, but plenty of other people do. Plenty of other people think that they put out a newsletter to inform the wider e-commerce community. I'm not one of those people. I just say it like it is as an operator with nothing to sell you. So if you're interested in any of that, that's where you can connect with me. Just a seller.news is if you want to type it in. I'll stop there for questions, and then where's Scott? You let me know if after questions I can show these ladies and gentlemen how to get 4.4% cash back on ad spend. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Do you know how much Walmart Marketplace, like how much share they have in Canada versus US, or how successful it is in Canada versus US? And I'm very specific about this because they did pitch us at another summit last fall. And it seemed like I've been kind of looking into it, and one of the big things, I even talked to Scott about it before, I've been trying to figure out what the heck volume you do once you join Walmart Market, like Canada, because all these people in the States have, they all talk about growth and everything, but then I hear like voices say, Canada is nothing like the US for Walmart, even though it's a big brand in Canada too. They're like, if you join Walmart Marketplace in Canada, it's gonna be crickets. Like maybe you'll make like a few sales per month, but don't expect it to change your inventory and change your sales velocity overnight.
Okay,
so know your insights on it.
So it depends on who pitched you in Walmart.
Walmart.
Well, I'm saying it depends what kind of pull they have. So if they're promising you they'll pin you to a certain keyword, or they'll pin you to a certain slide on their homepage, then it may be worth exploring. I wouldn't go into it, especially if you don't have a grasp on your marketplaces here in the US, but for free. There's something called NARF, N-A-R-F, on Amazon where you could sell for free. They take care of customs, they take care of duty, they take care of what's the thing called, VAT. And Amazon lists your product on the Canadian, Mexican, and Brazilian marketplaces. They take care of fulfillment, all on them. You control your listings, they control fulfillment, you don't gotta worry about it. Walmart is working on that. I believe that's already in process for Mexico. I think Canada is next. So if number one, they're sweetening the deal for you so that you can do it, you maybe want to go direct to Walmart Canada, but I'd explore a multi-channel fulfillment method way before going straight onto a Canadian marketplace. Yeah?
So I'm selling on Amazon actually.
Sure.
International as well.
Uh-huh.
And I keep like needing to go into Walmart, but backing up.
Uh-huh.
They pitched me a few times also.
Okay.
But it's just feeling to me like if I want to build a brand, Walmart is a little bit different. Like I'm in a clothing brand. I'm
Okay.
in clothing, so I feel like I'm going to put myself down if I go to Walmart.
So claim your brand within Walmart, and then just see where it goes. I'm not saying devote.
Maybe like sell higher prices, or because I see also like my product, similar products sell very very cheap there.
That's fine. Just make sure your brand is there. If your page is there, as what's the name of your brand?
Sushi.
Sushi? So if Sushi is there, maybe someone.
Actually, somebody's selling under my name. Yeah.
I'm positive they are.
Yeah.
So.
And you know what? That's what the reason why I went to eBay. Because a lot of people selling under my name.
Yeah.
And I just joined eBay like a few months ago, and I'm selling really good. Not not like Amazon.
You should have a presence. That was my entire pitch. And maybe somebody prefers Walmart over your own site, even at a higher price. I mean, if anybody in here has an American Express Platinum card, they're getting Walmart Plus free. Free 2-day shipping. In addition to Paramount Plus and Peacock and I don't know what else. They're trying to get that convenience out of the customer. So, I mean, it doesn't really cost anything. Just make sure you clean your ground. That's my. Go ahead.
Walmart, they don't do the fulfillment, right?
Sure they do.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, it's called WFS.
Okay, I didn't know this.
Yeah. And you can even set up automated fulfillment from an Amazon network.
I wouldn't want to do this.
Yeah, and you could do that for free. They just mentioned
What
that.
about, like, I know I didn't get what your opinion about having your own warehouse, because I do have upstate New York warehouse. It's not big, but it's like enough for me for what I'm doing.
Ideally, as somebody who operates a couple here in the city, you should have probably 3/4 of what your company can possibly handle. And the reason why I say that is because I utilize FBA so much. And if something were to go wrong, I have the capacity to, I guess, house all of it by me in case something goes wrong. And listen, if things went perfectly, none of us would be here. But we're all here to talk about our problems, and I make the best of it. Yeah.
So I think this is the first time that I've heard a presentation on selling another marketplace as a defensive posture. Right? So the way that I'm likening it is like you do a Google brand campaign to defend your brand.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so something like that. So if you don't want to rely on Amazon as a marketplace, for example, but you want to use it defensively, what kind of profit margin are you expecting compared to Shopify? Like right now, what are your profit margins on Amazon and Walmart in comparison to your Shopify?
Oh my God, nothing to compare. I mean, it depends where you're driving traffic from. If you're driving traffic, if you're vying for the person who starts their journey on Amazon, my margins are like somewhere in the range of 14 to 16%. If I'm talking about a repeat customer on Shopify, that's upwards of 30 or 40. Again, it goes back to your CAC and where you want to source people. Yeah, go ahead.
So it's basically like, don't expect much from these marketplaces from a profit margin perspective. You'll increase your revenue. Like
You can expect profit from these marketplaces only when you master it, though, not from the beginning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it just feels like when I see what all that Amazon has available, you're talking about learning a totally different platform.
Forget about me not scratching the surface about Amazon. I barely stroked the letter A in the ABCs.
Right.
Yeah.
What if I've sold on both Amazon and Walmart? I'm not on them right now because in my category, there's a lot of competition and there's a lot of manufacturers that are dumping products. So how do you work if you are? Well, I guess there's two parts to this. If you don't want to sell on Amazon for a lot less price, and which is the only way to really head-to-head price compete, is it worth defending your space? Like I'd be on there, I'd be double the price of my competitors because they're not brands, they don't have their own website, they're just dumping product and competing on price. So they're taking 10% margin, and I can't do that.
You can answer your own question. You want someone else to do it for you?
What's that?
You want someone else to do it for you?
I have had someone else do
I'm saying, do you want people who you've never known, seen, or sold to determine how your brand is being presented on the platform?
no.
Do you have your answer?
Well, but the thing is, they're not, I mean, I create my own product, so it's
Okay.
a competitive product. But,
Okay.
So is the option to drop my price to be able to be on Amazon?
I'm not saying you have to necessarily sell. I'm saying you have to
Just
be there.
and not sell.
If that's what suits your business model.
But is that better than not being there at all?
Yes.
Because you're controlling.
You're controlling
The
it.
question was, but somebody's not going to be there pretending to be you.
It's also like what's like $1,700 like hoop earrings.
Yeah, I mean, it's not inexpensive.
That's fine. I mean, you still want to be able to control your listing. If somebody says that they're hoop earrings that cure cancer, you don't want that to be associated with your brand.
No one's used my branding. I mean, I'm registered with Amazon, so I don't think anyone.
Fine. Yeah, but if you want complete contribution to your listings,
Yeah.
you're going to have to be there making sure that nobody's saying that your earrings cure cancer. Go ahead.
price.
Try it out.
I sell half, if not more than half. Like my product would be maybe $22, and somebody else sell my similar product to mine too for 11.
Yeah.
Okay, because they ship it directly from China, and I still sell. Because you have to differentiate your product. You have to, you know.
And you tell me if I'm wrong, some people are going to be looking up your brand and not mind paying extra on Amazon. That I see that too often.
Yeah. Well,
Just because it's Prime and they already have your credit card information. Screw it.
So we're on Amazon primarily because what we were finding as a new brand that people are unfamiliar with, they would maybe see an ad about us. Maybe they come to our site.
Yep.
They go to Amazon to actually
Yep.
buy because
Yep.
they never heard of us before.
Yep.
So they double check. So that's another reason to just have presence on Amazon even at the regular prices.
And if you want to find out how to get 10% of a referral bonus back, if you direct traffic to Amazon for an effective 5% referral fee, talk to me later. Every time they click, go check out on Amazon, your referral fee goes from 15 to 5%.
A lot of your conversations have been about brand, protecting your brand, protecting your brand. And I'm not on Amazon or Walmart, and we've been consciously held off because we can't handle the learning curve.
There is a learning curve, yeah.
Stay focused for now.
Definitely.
I do see us getting there.
Definitely.
I'm trying to translate your interpretation of brand in marketplaces versus we're resellers. We don't have our we have some small products that are our brand. But we're resellers.
Amen.
Everything for me on Walmart and Amazon has nothing to do with the ability to pitch your brand. It's transactional, it's price, it's 5-star ratings,
Yep.
not much more.
Yep.
Even the brand pages you put up there are pretty limited in terms of storytelling or value
Absolutely.
proposition, attributes, and all these other things. So when you think about brand, how do you tell that how do you articulate your brand on your site on Amazon and Walmart? Is it a brand story or it's just a defense of the brand name?
It's a mixture of the brand story. It's just called the brand story. That's just the section of the product detail page. Yeah, so it's a mixture of that. And then what you see below, look at the product description here. This is called A+ Premium Content. You get up to 7 or 8 modules of ultra wide creative that you can utilize in text, video, and images. To tell that story of how your brand cures a certain frustration and how your product is going to solve a problem.
So from my standpoint, our brand is a reseller.
Okay. Authorized or unauthorized?
Sorry?
Authorized or unauthorized?
In Walmart and Amazon speak, I don't know.
Both. I mean, do you have explicit permission from the brand to resell their product?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it brick and mortar? We have brick and mortar
Okay.
reselling. Shopify's been like explosive.
Okay.
So, damn, I lost my train of thought.
Okay. You see me later. Okay.
Gata.
Gata, and then you let me know how I'm doing on timing.
Yeah, we'll wrap up Gata, do the demo, and then we're gonna.
Okay. If you want to cut it, I get it. If up to you.
Okay, so I sell an innovative product.
Okay.
I do have the patent, and we just discovered that there is something kind of similar now on Amazon. And I know that if I'm on Amazon, they can remove it, but she had a patent. If I should-
It depends on how they arbitrate the patent. Keep going.
So, when weighing the pros and cons being on Amazon for my product, do you think it's better to be on Amazon and maybe people outside? Because my patent is only for the US. So
Okay.
people outside in China might do something similar to my product and sell it. So it's risky, or should I have my...
Your product's already out there.
Yes, and it's expensive. So
Okay.
people can do something similar. Less expensive.
Yeah.
Travel supplement container.
So then, I mean, I would, number one, register the patent with Amazon. That's the first thing. I would register the patent with Amazon. If you think somebody's infringing on the patent, there are a lot of things that you can do to either take them down, have them challenge you legally instead of being on the platform, potentially go through an accelerated arbitration process that Amazon is willing to facilitate. And if they lose, they'll have to pay your legal fees. Way more than I can get into right now, but I could get into later. But be there. That's my main message. Yeah.
I mean, there's one more like benefit I want to share because mainly I'm among the sellers. There's a data like if you do something vital in TikTok, like a TikTok shop would only take like 20% or 30% sales. The rest of like half of the sales will go to Amazon. Because since it's vital, then probably not first to go to your site, they go to Amazon to check if there's an option for the buy. Even you are higher price than other that just specific to search your brand.
They call that the halo effect.
Brand search was going increasing.
Yeah.
And one more thing I really like I have some trouble with is like how my Amazon sales, right? It's I would treat Amazon sales as a channel to acquire new customers. How can I use the low CACs?
Right.
New customers to the machine we have here.
You don't even have to make money on them. You just get new customers.
Yeah. So if you treat like that way, probably even cheaper than Meta or Google, whatever. Because conversion rate over there is pretty high. People already decide to buy it. You don't need to educate them. But just I wish like I want to learn like some kind of machine mechanism to help to transfer those buyers to our customers.
It's a very delicate line you're going to have to go across.
It's a very important part for me because I have over thousands of orders in Amazon every day, but only 2 or 3 in Shopify. It's a huge gap.
Of course.
People just
Of course.
automatically go to my website but not purchasing.
That's fine.
So.
Okay. Out of time? Okay. We're out of time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. And if you really like me, you'll tell me what I did wrong in this presentation. Thank you so much.
The one thing you mentioned is 4% back on
4.4.
4.4 and how we were going to get that.
You're going to subscribe to the newsletter because I'm going to make sure it's going to go out on the next one. It's 5 minutes. Well, if everyone wants to see it, Scott can really tell you no.
Yeah,
You want to? All right. Okay. All right. Unlock 4.4% cash back on your ad spend, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. I will preface all of this by saying that most of the big platforms are going to stop taking credit cards at some point, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't get 4.4% cash back. Yes.
Somebody was asking pay per click. Is this all specific to Amazon?
No. This is Amazon, Meta, and Google for sure. Not Walmart ads. So the way you do it, ads automatically qualify on the American Express for Business Gold. When you go ahead and open that card, you make sure you get a welcome bonus, at least 80,000 welcome points. Most people who are not in this room and don't know enough will probably redeem points for 60% of a penny per point. That's 0.6 cents per point. Some will redeem it for gift cards with the even worse American Express trade-in value, and some will redeem it for airfare, which is actually pretty good, 1.53 cents. But what happens when you get the American Express card Platinum by Charles Schwab? Those valuations go up to 1.1 cents per point. So again, this gives you 4x points per dollar spent on ads. This, I don't know why it keeps going like that. This gives you 1.1 pennies per point. We're talking about 4.4% cash back. How do you get this card? Well, you go and you open a free brokerage account by Charles Schwab. Don't open any brokerage account. Make sure you get the starter kit. The starter kit gives you $50 of stock completely free. Go to Charles Schwab, open the starter kit. Get the American Express Platinum by Charles Schwab. That unlocks your American Express will transition from Explore Rewards to Invest with Rewards. You redeem your points straight into your Charles Schwab account at 1.1 pennies per point, and you've successfully got 4.4% cash back. No, you have to transfer into Schwab.
Is Schwab also going to charge like the $7.50?
No. This has the regular American Express Platinum fee. This has all the benefits of American Express Platinum. Yeah.
So the biggest expense for us is the PPC.
Yeah.
So I actually used to have 3 American Express in
Uh-huh.
order to, because you have a max of 100,000.
150. Yeah.
150?
Yeah, 150.
So I had to do fuel card.
Sure. You have up to 10 cards you can have per social security number.
What is it?
Up to 10 cards per social security number.
Well, I don't have that much, but so you're saying Charles Schwab to do. And why is it? I don't get it, because the money goes there? Or
The points link back to your social security number. If you earn the points on this card, you can redeem it on this card. That's the whole art of it. And when you redeem it on this card, it's 1.1 cents a point, not a sixth of a penny.
I see.
Is it tied to your credit score?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope I delivered some value today. All right. All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.